Welcome back. The live stream is about to begin momentarily, and soon I'll start answering all of your questions about VR. I've had my VR YouTube channel up for over 5 years now, and for the past 2, VR has become my full-time gig. I'm experiencing new virtual reality games every single day, and I of course love checking out the latest hardware. So if you have any questions at all about this industry, stay tuned and I promise I'll give you some answers. As a reminder, if you have a direct question for me, please use @Mateo311 down in the chat when asking. And if you want to help support this channel, go click the thumbs up right now. Now the stream will be starting soon, but in the meantime, enjoy the montage.
If you're here, something has gone terribly wrong. Farah is fraught with danger. You'll need help to survive. Take these gauntlets. They'll enhance your strength and help you heal. They are one of my finest accomplishments. Having the gauntlets enables the use of a throwing shield. The shield can be used to protect yourself and to help you climb. And climb you must.
No one knows how old the city really is. For me, it's all I've ever known. My whole world. I was raised in this city's shadow, free to take whatever I need to survive.
From the depths of Neverwinter Wood, 4 battle-marked heroes will find their courage tested.
You must protect me! It's vital I reach the elves or it'll be war!
We need to protect Lord Elmer somehow.
I think we need to team up here.
Wait, I have an oil flask. Didn't you fireball?
Hello everybody and welcome back. The live stream is about to begin momentarily, and soon I'll start answering all of your questions about VR. I've had my VR YouTube channel up for over 5 years now, and for the past 2, VR has become my full-time gig. I'm experiencing new virtual reality games every single day, and I of course love checking out the latest hardware. So if you have any... Hey, I waited for the countdown today, and it looks like watching the stream versus where I am at, I think there's like a 10-second difference on YouTube. Almost as much as 10 seconds. I could get it lower, but not at this resolution. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Anyway, how we doing? How's everybody going? Thanks for joining, guys. First post, what up, Chris? Q Creator, what's going on, man? Arlen, nice to have you guys here. Zeno, Noetic Realms is here. Oh, what'd you delete your message for? The Realms up in here. That's the studio that's putting together our game. Yeah, I'm pumped. Finally catching, I know you meant to say live, but it's a love show. Just for you. You could be the other half. Okay, for you it's a love show. Because she typoed. Is there new bad news about VR? I just didn't have a new thumbnail and new topics, and it's still kind of a fresh wound. So I thought we'd discuss it more. Yeah, I know Twitch still says that, and I get all of like 7 viewers on Twitch these days. I used to do good back in the day, but yeah, I knew it was that, and I just didn't care to change it. You're gonna make me change it, huh, Oni, huh? Oh, man, because you know what it is? I'm selling something that isn't real. All right, so let's discuss VR. Okay, time to discuss. No, I'm gonna just do like holy almost SH star T. Holy shit VR. And that'll be the announcement that goes live because I don't care much on Twitter. I had like 19 viewers last time. That was some amazing stuff. All right. get him back in here as I knock stuff over. Yep, it's holy VR. All right, so pop it in, guys. Oh, you could see me do my magic now at this angle. You can, when I'm zoomed in, like when I'm zoomed that far out, you could see the magic now. When I do like, you know, when I want to be, let's see, something like this. Make myself more manly so I could be a space marine, and I can be like,
brothers! I don't have my headphones on, so I don't know what it sounds like, but purge the Xeno!
Anyway. Just chatting is not cool enough, brother. Leave it at just chatting. Lame. Waiting to get my oil changed. All right, cool. So at least you'll hang out with us. Yes. I'm very big, actually, with the getting your oil changed community. I'm actually, like, huge with them lately. So anyway, yeah, the weather is shit. I'm looking at, like, old messages. Someone messaged the weather. Let's see. Yeah. Don't miss the extreme weathers. So, dude, I know UK people will complain. They'll be like, it's so cold here lately. And, oh my goodness, the world shut down. We got an inch of snow. I'm preparing for 20 inches Sunday. They said 20 inches and then maybe more on Monday. And listen, I don't care how adventurous you are. 20 inches is way too much for most people. Yes. All right. So back. This my randomness reminds me, guys. My randomness reminds me. Someone, if you guys are awesome and super cool and you want to help me out with the easiest thing ever, when something absolutely absurd happens in the live stream, if someone could like timestamp and DM me so we can make some, because I did a flip one day accidentally. I was jumping up to the projector and I fell and I flipped backwards. I don't know if the camera caught me or not. I never went back and checked it because this is a moving camera. So I don't know if it kept up with me. But I fell on my ass and, you know, funny shit happens. So I'm going to do some... and it's also good footage when I'm showing off the room and stuff. All right. Do I think we're getting a new Half-Life game? Yeah, I do, actually. I do think it's true. I don't think it's not going to be a VR exclusive game. Not a chance. I think there'll be a VR component and maybe like asynchronous play. I think that would be a good move by Valve. And I think the Steam frame is going to be pretty badass, but I do think there's a Half-Life something. But Valve is very much the type of team, because they do very well. They're actually like employee for employee, pound for pound, the most lucrative company. I think they make something of upwards of $50 million per employee. Now, scope-wise, Valve is worth like 20 billion and Meta's worth 1 point something trillion, like 1.5. So it's not even close. So when people are like, why didn't Valve put in the money like Meta did? Where the F would you like that money to come from? However, even though they're not that insane size, their production value, you know, how much the people at Valve can churn out, you know, how much they make per person is very impressive. So they have the liberty of just like fooling around at times, making hardware like just as an experiment. And if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. And also experimenting with games. There's been tons of projects they just never released because I guess it wasn't good enough or they weren't happy with it. Or, you know, the genre of choice, the popular genre changed over time, whatever it may be. Why would the Steam frame be dead on arrival? That, like, why? Steam, but that is like, all right. So, ZF, you're missing, like, you're not in the right vicinity when you kind of like, Valve has no way of producing millions of units per year. They do not have that capability. Now, the other option is to, you know, outsource that. But right now, they're operating with small margins. So that's going to screw that up even more. And we have the AI apocalypse. So just because it's not going to sell the same numbers, like right now, most people are going to upgrade from the Quest 2 to the Quest 3. And there's tons of units just collecting dust. And it just like they didn't make a very stable marketplace. But we know Steam It's been around for 20 something years. It is everyone's favorite PC marketplace. So I think, you're forgetting about that. There's nothing stopping someone from Asus, or I even spoke to, let me just shut my mouth there. But there's nothing stopping other headsets that are standalone from getting the Steam OS on them and then also contributing to this ecosystem. But do you have $1,000 price tag on the Steam frame? Do you really have a $1,000 price tag on the Steam frame? I don't think it's going to be $1,000, but sure. Only Nintendo could save VR. See, yeah, $699 to $799 is what I've seen. I've actually seen as low as $650. But you can't. Pricing is insane these days. So. But I've seen as low as $650, like an entry model, and then a higher end model. But I don't know if any of that is even remotely true. This guy's rage baiting? Maybe. I don't know. Some people are just like have an opinion and just think the world should shape to that opinion. I don't need facts or reason, and I'm not saying this is you, man. But if something feels right to you, then sometimes you don't want to hear the numbers. You just in your bones, you feel this is right. So that's the type of scenario sometimes you're fighting against, and don't even bother. I don't think modern Nintendo could pull it off. Nintendo dropped the ball so freaking bad on the Switch too. Not the number one sell. Actually, they said the price of the Switch 2 is going up this year. Yeah, the price of the Switch 2 is going up this year. And I think, honestly, I hate to get into this conversation. And this is not politically related. This is not politically charged. But I believe we are in for a rough 2 years economically. I feel like there's just not enough stability in the economy. When you're looking at CDs, their rates are only high for the next year to 2 years. And when their rates are low, going to the 5 and 10 year mark, that is a sign that there's not any faith in the current economy. That and our absolutely ballooning debt. I don't know how we've added so much to the debt in the last year. It's insane. Yep, hello recession. I know. There's a lot of economic indicators that are saying recession. And it doesn't matter who you are, recessions suck, unless you're super rich, because then you buy up everything cheap. Yeah, man, the world, it's rough. Things are crazy. Well, over 1K for people in other areas is understandable. Ubisoft or Ubisoft, man, they almost got bought out by a French company 1 or 2 years ago. They haven't been doing well for a while. But I think one of the major problems is massive public publishers getting into the gaming scene, because I forget which Call of Duty it was. Could have been one of the Black Ops, could have been one of the Modern Warfares, could have been whatever, but it was quite successful. And I think it was looking at 500 million in profit, and shareholders were pissed it wasn't enough. So it's there's never enough. And that's where things start to get ridiculous. That's when your games get absolutely loaded with predatory DLC and gambling mechanics. Everything's exclusive, gotta get it today or it's gone. They really just wreck the mentality. I see it, my daughter plays this game called Prodigy, and she's I can't get all the rewards unless I pay. And I'm tough shit. It's the world we live in. Yeah, I know it's not fair, and it sucks. Enjoy the game. The Steam frame will be unaffected by RAM prices. Well, you can't say anything for sure, and I don't think it would be unaffected by RAM prices. I mean, it's specific DIMMs that are getting stolen. It's the faster ones, the DDR5, it's the higher end GPUs. But you see board manufacturers, motherboard manufacturers, are making older boards because they know there's going to be a RAM shortage. So people will go back to a DDR4 board. And Nvidia did the same thing. They started making the 3060 again because they're like, hey, there's going to be no higher end GPUs are available for consumers, so let's give them the cheapo 3060. I think the news for the frame is I think it's still in flux because of the economy. I think that's where we are. Everything's affected. Even if you're not looking for a component that's a high in demand component, everything's affected right now between tariffs, between conflicts in nations, and just between supply and demand. Like the RTX 5090 just went up 50%. I mean, that's direct relation to the AI centers. But if there's no 4080s, 4090s, 5080s, 5090s, and there's only lower end cards, the demand for those cards goes up too, and those prices go up. I remember one year my buddy spent an excessive amount for a 2060 Ti. And I think he spent almost as much as I spent on like the 2080. I think I had straight 2080 that I bought a few years prior. And I was like, dude, just send me your 2060. You could have my old 2080. You got fleeced. And it's not your fault. You got fleeced. It's just the economy now. It said they really wanted the Ready Player One Oasis while putting in the effort of a backyard pond. It's not even the effort of a backyard pond. It's like you can't make the Oasis on the Quest. And I feel like Meta's issue has always been the same. Like, we don't know how to compete, so we'll buy the competition, or we'll just throw money at the problem and we'll solve it. And even John Carmack said, like, wow, Facebook back then, now Meta, like they have so much money and so much staff that it's almost too much. Like they will go down endeavors that you should never go down. And it's a waste of time and money and productivity. And so they were kind of like all over the place. Let's see. Black and white pass through. What a joke. It's gonna have a color module. I love your rage baiting because you're really not adding anything to the conversation. It's just fun. They just showed that in the code, it looks like there's a module for color pass through, and this is great. This is exactly what I said when they were releasing the Quest 3. I said not everybody's gonna want pass through, and now you're forcing people to buy a $500 device for an added-on item that they might not want. Well, here you go. If people want pass-through, they could buy it and add it on. And it'll be cheaper than the $300 price from the 3S, well, the $200 price from the 3S to the 3, and I know the prices have changed over time. So, no. Even better option. Did you see the Fable game? I did. I never had a huge love for the Fable games, even though I'm a massive RPG guy. I find the aesthetics too kid to teen for me to really get sucked into it. I played one a while ago on Xbox, and I played a bit of it. It was years ago, so it must have been like a 360 or something. But yeah, it just, I don't know what it is that it didn't pull me in, but I know people always love the series. But who cares about relying on color pass-through, dude? We saw the market for pass-through games. There's minimal money there. The only reason why so many were made is because Meta was again subsidizing. They were trying to get people to develop pass-through games. And yes, pass-through is a cool technology, but that's not the direction of VR that Valve is going in. Valve is doing what they know. They're doing what they know, and they're doing gaming. And if you want to add things to the headset for other functionality, so be it. Most people, so here's an interesting statement. Most people using VR properly and enjoying it don't give a shit about what Meta is doing. Unfortunately, that's not true because the PC VR community is just so much smaller than Quest. Even when you factor in so many other aspects, for the longest time, if you were a dev and wanted any chance of a return, yeah, it's Quest, and you could pretty much skip PCVR. Now, this is not always the case. Obviously not. And bigger, titles, more expensive titles tend to do better. However, yeah, there's been a few that do better on PCVR or PlayStation VR 2, but that's not the norm. I mean, we've just seen... I know Underdogs, they gave up on PlayStation VR 2 because they just were getting no traction, which is so sad. It's such a great game. But there was another studio that did the same. I mean, I don't play much pass-through either. My favorite pass-through game is probably Spatial Ops, which is awesome. It's really awesome. But, okay. What are the chances of the dev teams from Meta making their own studio? It's a possibility, but it's rough. It's not... The problem is there's no money. Like, you went from a situation of Meta is paying for your space, Meta is paying, the utilities, Meta is paying everyone's salary. All these people leave. You need someone with money to start the studio again. You need startup costs. You need a location. You need utilities. You need equipment, the PCs that people are going to be developing on. You need headsets. You need maybe, a Steam frame, a PlayStation VR 2 dev kit. They don't give those away anymore. They're expensive. You got to buy them now. You need a lot to get started. So that's when it's like, oh, you think about it in a perfect world. Well, they just get all these people. They're free now. They could just get together and make a great game. Who's paying them to make this game? You have to have form a studio. One person's leading that studio or multiple people. Then they got to go find publishers, get money, open up a physical location. It's hell. Pass-through games do feel like a corny gimmick. I mean, I think some of them really shine, for sure. Some of them really shine, but yeah. But for the most part, most early VR games were gimmicks. And we loved them because they kind of spawned something completely new and a new sensation. But that's how VR started too. Any Steam frame can become a dev kit. Yeah, absolutely. And so can any Quest. But that's not the case for PlayStation VR 2. Let's see. That's your opinion, but what is a serious VR user? Okay? Those are the ones spending money. You'd be surprised how much money these stupid free-to-play games make. We're talking about way more money than the AAA PCVR titles. It's absolutely insane. And I know your brain is going, those aren't real games. Lots of people will disagree with you. They're not the type of games I like. They might not be the type of games you like. You might not consider the people playing those games real gamers, but the industry as a whole says, screw you. I like money. I'm making money. And tons of people have fun playing this, and games are about fun. So the opinion doesn't matter. There's an objective side to this. Okay, let's see what else is going on. I wish Palmer was less interested in killing people more efficiently and more interested in VR games. He might be interested in money because the government, you tell them we can help you blow people up or murder people, they give you money. One of my professors from college, if you go back 30 years in time, a little bit before me, well, not before me personally, but before me in working professionally and me in college. So if you go back 30 years and stuff, if you were an IT major 30 years ago, a lot of people who were really good in the field ended up working for the government. And a lot of it, 30 years and 40, 50, further back too, they made these people do programs to shoot rockets and shit. And my professor loved it. He said it was his favorite job ever because he would write a program for them. They test it once or twice, stamp it top secret, Now he's not even allowed to relook at his program. Everything's done. It goes to their, government employees that are full-time employees, not consultants, not contractors. He said he loved it, and he said, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of my programs blew some shit up, which is fucked up. But some people don't care. They just like the science. They just like using their skill set, or they're like, listen, I need money. I need to survive like anybody else, and this is my talent. Yeah, so because of the military, we have GPS. And that's one of those things that you really can't expect a commercial. Well, these days, corporations are getting so freaking big, 1 point something trillion with Meta. But you really couldn't expect someone to start an endeavor that takes that long. I mean, you have to set up this whole network. You have to launch a ton of satellites. You got to triangulation. You got to do all this testing. It's insane. So it took them I think 30, 40 years for the government to get GPS. And then they said, okay, now we can lease it out to other companies and let them use this technology for good. Besides tracking people and our soldiers and shit. But I remember they were working with the, Microsoft was working with the military, and the headsets were making soldiers sick, and it was the worst. The tech needed time. The earth is flat. There is no GPS. What's up? Happy Friday right back at you. Welcome in. Ernesto. I have not seen that name before. Hey, welcome, buddy. If you're new, hey. Pokemon AR would be awesome. It really would. I'm a serious VR user and run my Quest 3 proudly. Well, this is one of the... It's not stereotyping. It's just like mentality. This is the type of mentality I had as a kid also. Like, oh, no, real games are God of War. Real games are Gears of War. Real games are Halo, Last of Us. Violent, dark, gritty, story. I'm a big storyline guy. But I'm also a huge RPG fan. Sure, those are the games you enjoy. You can't go to someone and say, Among Us isn't a game. You can't go to someone and say, Stardew Valley isn't a game. You're playing it. It's got mechanics. They enjoy it. It's an effing game. Sorry. A new AR version of Pokemon Go. Yeah. So the company that made Pokemon Go, someone might remember their name. I don't remember their name. But they did Hello Dot. Is that the game? They started messing around and do have a Quest app with like a little dude that will follow you around and play. But when I tested the demo, it was very early. Whoop whoop. Streamlabs dropping a link for you guys. I haven't updated the link in a while, guys. But just know if you're getting anything off the Quest store, use Mateo311 as the promo code. There's like everything. That code works on everybody. Volume is low. Interesting. Does anyone else think the volume is low? I mean, I did have to redo I'm looking at my hey, you guys can actually see it. Let's see. I can't really see it. It's up on this screen. But you see the green bar, and the green bar is staying nicely in that yellow area. So red, I can't even get to the way my mic is set up. So I make sure not my noise gate and my clipping and my compressor are all set up, but I do need to do some adjustments. But as you can see, it's staying in the tip of the green to the yellow, which should be good. But if you guys think I should be louder, volume is shit. Bye. Okay. Yes, a bit low. Interesting. Yeah, I probably just got to do a few changes because I did have to redo my Go XLR recently. So let's just do this a little bit. Okay. So let's see. Let's see where we are now. If that's a little bit better. I put 3 dB gain. Volume is perfect. Okay. I mean, from what I'm looking at, it looks fine on my side. And hey, this is the new camera because it's weird on that side slant sometimes, guys. So I wanted a forward-facing camera so I could talk directly to you guys, really stare into your eyes. Really, how you doing? I think I need to clean the lens, though. It looks dirty. Anyway, as I, lose my thought process here. that screen's on an angle. This is a much nicer one, but if I was to put it over here, it's tremendous. Let's see. This, look how big that is versus this. I don't know if you guys see my fingers. Follow the fingers. This versus this. Can this zoom in? I mean, I could get that one to zoom in, but I'm too lazy. So that's a significant difference. And I wanted this. It's more professional for like when I'm on a call with someone. It looks a bit more professional. But let's lock it into the normal screen. Okay. This is scary. What's scary? What'd we do? It's good. I say turn up your TV. I say turn down from what? Car is all the way up, and when an ad comes on, get blown away. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know why YouTube would do that. I mean, I'm looking at my levels. It's weird. By any chance, is your YouTube video audio turned down? Is your YouTube... So what are the top 10 games coming out? Coming out this year? Ninja Turtles. There's not much. Like, Ninja Turtles, I'm definitely interested in. I played a demo. I don't think I did any footage for you guys. Maybe just included a little clip of footage. So, Ninja Turtles, I did. I played a little bit, and I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be fun. I don't think I'm going to be blown away, but I think it's definitely going to be fun. On top of that, I am I'm pretty excited for, as you see, tons of stuff. Aces of Thunder, enough already. Let's play that. I want to jump into that. There's some other things I'm working on I can't discuss yet. Like, I want to get into some new VR stuff, but I can't discuss it just yet. And obviously, this is going to be a good time for us to get into Microsoft Flight Simulator for PlayStation VR 2. Might be a good, just to mess around with, but it's not my thing. It's really not my thing. I get bored. And I remember playing Microsoft Flight Simulator when I was like 12. So 30-something years ago. My uncle was a pilot. And I was there, and I knew how to game. So like the fact that he just walked in and he looked at the screen, and mind you, this is crappy Microsoft Flight Sim 95 or some shit. He looks at the screen and goes, "Your nose is too low, you're gonna crash." This guy, I don't know what he's talking about. Then next time, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having trouble landing." He's like, "Yeah, you came in too steep." He's like, "Tell me what the controls are and let me show you." And I was like, "All right, this is flaps, this is this is," and he fucking landed it first try. And I was like, "You son of a bitch." But then I knew from then, oh shit, this game's the real deal. I get Turtles as a cartoon, but I feel like VR games look too cartoony. So there's a reason why they go that cartoony angle. It still maintains a good appearance, a good aesthetic, without killing the performance. So that's why a lot of games go that. And I'm sorry to say, if you hate it, that's kind of the route we're going with our upcoming game. It's a cel-shaded, somewhere between comic book and Borderlands. G-Rebels looks awesome. I'm going to get into that. Hell yeah, I'm pumped for G-Rebels. Did I miss the Captain Hardcore review? It hasn't come out yet. I am so chafed from that review. It has been a rough one. I needed lots more fluids. The spirit is willing, but the body is soft and weak. Loved Deadpool VR. I loved/hated Deadpool VR. So someone told me they're going to get me into like lots of sim stuff. So I might be doing some wacky sim stuff in the future. Exoshock is badass. What the heck is Ninja Turtles? Stop the show. Stop the show. I need a mental break. Someone asked what. Hey guys, I apparently had to take a break. I don't know what it is. Maybe I had to go to the bathroom. Maybe my doorbell rang. Maybe the dog's barking. It's one of those things. I'm sorry. I promise I'll be back soon. I'm sure I'm going to put something really entertaining on the screen to occupy you guys while I'm gone. Or even... Okay, I just want to see the belly. All right. Come on, man. Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. Come on. Gotta know what they're not. The game isn't out yet, but gotta know what the. Oh, that was loud. Why was that so loud? Man, I'll check that. Sorry, guys. Do believe Half-Life 3 VR will save VR? No. I don't think Half-Life 3 is going to be a full VR game. I think if they really want it to have an impact, they will make it a single-player game with a VR component or mode. Like, you get to play like 2-3 levels as Alex in VR, like as a side story. Then an asymmetrical mode where VR people can play with PC people, and that would be insane. Like, could you like? It would be cool if you were like a drone, or you had access to a collection of drones. Like, oh my god, what's the guy's name who does the gravity gloves, or the grippity gloves? What is his name? And I'll get to the flat to VR comment in a second. Anyway, the guy who makes the gloves for you, maybe he makes you because you know he has the drone in the beginning. Maybe like you get to play as a drone pilot and you fly around with the PC person and you get to, you know, have drones kind of protect them and shit. And that would be cool. I would like to play as a drone from a VR perspective. That'd be fun. So anyway, let's see. But they're making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City. It's, oh my god. The studio's name is with a C. I always forget the name of it. They've done some cool games before. They did the Alice in Wonderland game, which was actually really cool. I can't remember the full name right now. But I played that with my daughter, and that's a surprisingly good game. It really is a fun puzzle game. Anyway, let's see. You have some ass hats in the chat here who can't compute. No, man. Like, things are just things, and stuff is stuff, and technology is weird, and it's not always the same for everybody. So if someone says sounds fucked up, I believe them. Except one guy. He kept telling me my videos, so he's like, you got this popping audio, man. It's really bad. You really got to fix it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I'm like, I sent my audio to an audio engineer. I don't hear it. They don't hear it. Like 2 months later, they're like, it was my TV sound box. The sound bar was popping. Anyway, so flat to VR and porting AAA games. Here's the issue. When you start dealing with AAA games, you're dealing with AAA publishers. When you're dealing with AAA publishers, you're dealing with the whole legal team. You're dealing with the HR team. You're dealing with everything. Before you get that project in front of someone who's actually excited for it, it's probably been shot down by 10 other people as a poor investment, as a legal issue, as a they don't want to give you their IP without a massive return. So it's tough. It's very hard to get a AAA company on board. Plus, they're giving you access to their product. And when you're looking at it, like, let's look at the AAA games. Let's just say Batman. It's on Quest, so it doesn't need to be ported. But let's just say something like that. You also have to get Warner Brothers approval. You have to get every other person who has some type of third-party deal involved in there. Like, to give you an example, I wanted to be a voice actor in certain VR games, and I can't be because some voice actors, how am I going to say this without revealing too information? There's an acting union. Thank you, Kato. That was super nice of you, man. There's a union for actors and writers and stuff like that. What is the Screen Actors Guild? So some of these companies have a licensed IP or whatever, and because of the licensed IP, they always have to go through the Screen Actors Guild or something like that. So you get more and more red tape when you go from indie to AAA. And that's why it's so insanely hard. Flat to VR needs like 5 years of proving themselves before a big AAA will probably take them serious. Does that make sense? I think so. The Ready or Not VR mod was funded by Mike, right? VR Oasis. He was partially in there. Were they on? They might have been part of that though. I don't know. And the Luke Ross situation was pretty interesting. I mean, I posted it like, oh shit, bad news. Another mod is gone. And then it exploded. It exploded, not from my comment, but it exploded in general because people are like, yeah. Hey, that's what I said, Conan. So the ready or not, yeah, no, I lost my train of thought now. We were talking about, someone give me a topic because I lost it. Okay. I think Meta leaving VR gaming is good, to be honest. So to clarify, I don't think they're leaving gaming. I think they are restructuring, putting a lot more money towards wearables and stuff. But if they were straight up, like, there's two things here. They didn't just fire everyone and cut like full tides with gaming, even though let's say that's their plan. They want to give up on VR and gaming. Why not then fire all the studios and fire bigger parts of Meta Reality Labs? Well, that's a really bad look. It's a bad look. That's going to make people lose faith. So they wouldn't do that even if that was their plan. But I honestly don't think that's the case. I think they will scale back, try and make game production profitable. Like figure out how to make Oculus Studios a profitable studio. It is not profitable. You have Asgard's Wrath. You have Deadpool. You have Batman Arkham Shadow. Batman Arkham Shadow, I heard, was $100 million. And most people got it for free. Same thing with Asgard's Wrath 2. I don't know if the price was that high, but the price has got to be insane. So they didn't make any money. They made products to help promote the headset. And then when Meta was done with these studios, Meta gave them the boot. And basically, this is just business. This made sense because they could get whatever game they want produced for a cheaper price by buying the studio, paying the studio a few years, getting what they want, and getting rid of them. Batman is the best VR. It's really weird. ZF, I really think you just say stuff just to get people going sometimes. I think it's an incredible game. I think it is one of the best games VR has to offer for sure, but it also plays it fairly safe and isn't uniquely VR. They took Batman, the Arkham series from flat and made a great, incredible VR version. It feels very much like the flat one. Excuse me. And I thoroughly enjoy it. But it like, besides throwing some punches and stuff, doing the physical mechanics, I guess, I don't know. It is what it is. Let's see. Flat to VR talking to Cyberpunk company. I saw that. They'd have. Listen, I can't even get a reply from Ad Hoc Games, and I've been publicly and personally or privately messaging them like, "Hey, I loved Dispatch. It was my favorite flat game of 2025 rather. I want more people to play it. I will pay to get this thing ported to Quest. I will make it happen. I will donate blood, plasma, sperm, whatever it takes. I will reach into the bank account. I want this game ported." No one will respond. I even know someone at Critical Role, and they won't respond to me. Not that I know them. I personally met someone, and they were really nice, and I spent most of the day with them, and they just stopped replying to me. I want to call you out because I'm frustrated. You were so nice. We went to dinner together. You took my number, and you said, "Hey, I'm meeting up with some other people in the D&D sphere." I know Devora was there. Devora Wild, voice actress of Lae'zel. She's like, "I'll text you and let you know where we are. We're in New York City." She texted me, said, "Okay, got your number. I'll talk to you later." And never responded. Ever again. I'm not saying who it is, though. If you guys follow the channel enough, you probably know who it is because I've mentioned it. Never tried Lone Echo because Oculus. So I played through Lone Echo with my Valve Index using Revive, and I loved every second of it. Except, that's a lie. The first 45 minutes to an hour are painfully effing slow of that game. Even the second game, they made the same mistake. But besides that, masterpiece. Flat to VR is in their contract that all conversions must have Quest ports. So no. Why would there... That's weird. I don't know. Oh, so good. I recently played with some folks in big screen, so you were just like chilling in big screen and playing the game. That I would love to do that. I would love to be more involved, but I have two issues. One, my emotional issues. So a lot of times after I'm done doing this or working, I crash. And this is normally during this winter season. Like, I must be part plant or some shit, because when the sun's not around, neither are my energy levels. And I use a sun lamp in the morning, and it helps keep me semi-normal, but the energy levels are just garbage. I hit the gym, I kill myself in the gym, I get my work done, and then outside of that, lately, I don't want to do anything. I've been playing some Hades 2, I play some VR, I test our game, but I don't want to get moving for anything lately, and it sucks. It's driving me nuts. So I'm just waiting for this weather to move, and apparently I'm getting 20 inches of snow this weekend. Oh, Zeno, don't get me started with Medal of Honor. I didn't like it at all. Leo7, what up? Hi, Leo. What's up, man? Welcome. Couple names I've never seen before. Half's VR Arcade. So in terms of your comment for Flat to VR, I don't know. I've never heard that. Like, Flat to VR gives people contracts that say you must port the Quest. Maybe they got some money from Quest from Meta in the past, and Meta said, yeah, but all of your future ports must come to the Quest. I don't know. Sun-induced mood boost. I know, man. So, you know what? That sounds really cool, to sit there in big screen and kind of just stream your games. That's way more immersive than just streaming online. But lately, Kato, what's up, buddy? Thank you, man. I'll read your question in 2 seconds. So, like, I don't know, besides not getting moving, but lately I wanted to start streaming some games on, like, Twitch or even here, but I don't know. I don't think I want to stream like regular games on YouTube, because my YouTube channel is so VR based. But like Twitch and other channels and stuff, Instagram or TikTok, I was thinking about live streaming like Dispatch and some other games. The Hades 2 I've been playing, just like a time killer. Like when I play the game, so I kind of feel like I'm not wasting time. At least I'm still contributing to my channels. I was considering doing that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Let me know. So, I mean, if the games have to have Quest ports, yes, it's going to limit what can be ported, but not the chip inside of that's coming in the Steam frame can handle games, barely, but can handle games up to The Witcher 3 playably. So, I mean, the Quest 3 has about like half that power, but you could get some decent stuff on there. All right. Meta are doing what Sony did. Stop bankrolling money losses, which is good for indie devs, taking the focus on both headsets. I've offered to put 10K into, yeah, I know, I saw you looking to put money, and asking other creators. Yo, Kilobyte, what up, man? What up for joining up on Twitch there? Glad to have at least one person in that chat. I really feel like the Steam frame can do some badass voodoo, like the deck did. The deck really connected with people, and I'll be honest with you, the other day I was playing Hades 2 I tried both my Quest headset and both my Steam Deck, and a game like that is better with the screen because there's so many little indicators that you just can't see on the deck. The game is good on the deck, but better with the virtual screen. So that's the type of game I would definitely play standalone, like when I'm traveling and stuff. That would be great. I think devs will have to optimize their games better with this RAM shortage. I don't think the RAM shortage is going to impact devs as much because the hardware they're developing for is the same. I mean, just continue developing for the hardware of now. A lot of people don't future-proof, especially in the mobile. They just cross their fingers and hope they get shit to run. So let's see. I'm just catching up on some of the cross chat here. I can't even play flat anymore. I just get so bored. VR has ruined me. People say that, and I don't. Oh, cool. I misspelled apocalypse. Thanks. I'll go fix that now. So people say that, and I'm like, oh, I can't do flat anymore. I get so bored, and I'm just like, it's just different. It's just like I still enjoy movies. I still enjoy reading. I still enjoy TV. It's just a slightly different form of media, and good content is good content. That's how I feel. Like I don't discriminate. Same thing with like when it comes to, hey, how come we only got, I'm over here, we got 88 people watching. I never checked the numbers, by the way, but I was going to fix my typo. We only have 32 thumbs up. What is that nonsense about? I expect at least 88 now. Nah, I don't care. It is nice. It does help the video, guys, but someone else commented on it last week, so I felt like commenting again. What's that about, huh? You don't like me? You don't want a thumbs up? Come on, do it. You know you want to. All right, let's rename this nonsense. So much clicking. Did you guys notice that I also... Is that right? Is that a typo? It looks typo-y. That's right. Jesus. You know, sometimes when you do a word in full cap lock, it doesn't look right. You just look at it and you're like, eh? Anyway, let's get back to normal braining. I got 2 devices watching you and gave both the thumbs up. Oh my God. You know what, Micro? That's awesome. Thank you, dude. So Ricky, there's been a back and forth between the volume. Zeno, what up? Jumping up in the other chat. There's been a discussion back and forth about the volume. Half the people say I'm perfect. A couple people say I'm low. I'm looking. I showed off my little OBS chat here. I'm like right in the perfect zone. I don't have any external limiter. I don't know, man. I could try and crank it up a little bit for next time, but that's weird. See? This is not how you spell apocalypse. I'll show you how you spell apocalypse. Apocalypse is spelled with 3 Z's and 1 Y. Pogzalypse. Now do it in full cap lock and stare at it and wonder if it looks weird to you. At this point, you could tell me anything. You could tell me, ooh, Average Dad Workouts channel is starting very soon, guys. Very soon. Let's see. Yeah, that's not spelt right. I didn't even look at it that time. All right. Whatever. Let's see. You guys are messing my brain here. Okay. Anyway, I'm back. A-Y-Y-Y. You missed a couple Z's in there. All right, let's see. Actually, in the last few years, VR games and flat games seemed all the same. Well, I mean, there's... Get to see my muscles. I don't know if you guys watched. Not many people watched it. Those are slow burn videos. But I did another fitness routine. I spent about 10 to 12 weeks in FitXR during a cut. I cut a lot of fat this time, guys. Like, this time I was like, no joke. I mean, obviously, it's more diet and my other training than FitXR. But there's a before and after in that video where it's like 15 pounds. So, the one thing I enjoy about flat screen games that, you know, you don't get in VR as much is usually there's like a lot more mechanics and they're not as they're definitely not as physically demanding because this is all the demand that a console game requires. I can't be swinging around my arms like an animal for an hour. I can't. I'm too old. I'm sorry. I'm too old. Say what you want. I'm 44. So I can't do that. However, you know, there is there's ways that there are VR games that have kept me in for hours at a time, like Half-Life. like Asgard's Wrath, even though Asgard's Wrath was quite physical, there's enough like motional limitation or like ranged weapons to kind of keep you from getting super exhausted. But the mechanics that you get in some of these flat screen games is just so much depth. Sometimes I don't want that much depth. Sometimes I want way more. And that's why something like a fully modded like Fallout 4 VR is insane. But it's still so janky. Yeah, Until You Fall is one of my favorite games for sure. Smart dim light. My door just moved by itself. That was freaky. Listen, Game Cato. This is what some people say to me. They're like, "What? You're only 44." Well, some people butter me up and say, "Well, you look young," and other people are, "I'm 50, I'm 60. I deal with VR way better than that." You're better than me. I notice if I don't hit the gym, because I hit the gym hard. I notice if I don't hit the gym, I have the energy. I have the energy for VR. I have more energy. But right now, I'm still at that like recomping a little bit. So I'm just eating just what my body needs and pushing really hard in the gym. And it just doesn't, it's not giving me a lot of room for extra energy. It's self-induced. That and the seasonal depression I get. So it's kind of self-induced. But I'll move out of it eventually. See, like it sucks. People, I'm 43. I feel like I'm 20. I'm not. And this is you guys want to get into some. All right, let's go. Let's do this. All right. I am 44 years old and I have one herniated and one bulging disc. 3 to 4 years ago, it was right before the Quest 3 came out because I was at the event injured. I blew out my SI joint. Most pain I've ever been in my life. Blown out SI joint, 95% healed, I'd say. Herniated disc, bulging disc, not bad. A couple flare-ups here and there. Radial tunnel syndrome, that's my new thing. I have this nerve is compressed and damaged, so my forearms are killing me. I cannot, like I'm having trouble lifting like this, so like I can't pick up my kids anymore because the nerve gets compressed and the arm goes weak and I just don't have the strength. So that's the physical damage. If we talk about the insides, it's only the external that's holding up okay. The insides, first off, I have AB positive blood, the rarest blood type in the world. Only 2% of other people have it. And it's extra sticky, putting me at higher risk for stroke and cardiovascular event and all the good stuff. I also have, lipoprotein A. I'm a carrier of lipoprotein A. So everybody makes cholesterol. Cholesterol is mandatory. We think of it as the bad stuff when you eat too much fatty foods and stuff, and it clogs your arteries and you die. And it is true. However, your body makes cholesterol. And my body makes an extra dangerous form of cholesterol known as lipoprotein A. And there is no medicine that helps it. Well, there's clinical trial medicine. And there's also no benefit from diet. So your diet won't change the lipoprotein A number. It will control your LDL and stuff like that and your lipoprotein B, but it does not impact the crappy one that I make. So if my heart doesn't explode in my 50s or 60s, I'll most likely sign myself up for cancer because the men in my family don't last very long. Their heart either explodes randomly or in their 60s they get cancer. So I'm on the express program. So even though my body's 44, it's probably 52. My mom has the degenerative disc disease now. She's just didn't stop working out for 70 years. Oh no, Lyme disease is the worst, man. Oh, I'm so sorry you have Lyme disease. So I'm in Connecticut. Lyme, Connecticut is where Lyme disease is from. And I've done so much research on that, and it scares the ever living fuck out of me because it is just so, what's the word for it? Like, not only does it stick around and you can never really tell like how well the treatment's been, and the longer you've had it, the less likely you'll get rid of it. And it does, like, it goes dormant in like brains, not brain tissue. So is it viral or bacterial Lyme disease? I think it's bacterial. It goes dormant in brain tissue and then eventually flares back up again. It causes lots of psychological and physical symptoms. It scares the shit out of me. I'm sorry, dude. Yes, Lyme does come from ticks. Yeah. Man, I feel for you, man. Team Don't Die. You watch Brian Johnson. Good luck with that. Brian Johnson does some interesting and some absolutely absurd shit. Supposedly from ticks. Are we going to say that it was engineered? Stop it. I don't know. Who knows these days? But there are treatments for Lyme disease, though. It's just one of those things that it hides, it goes dormant, and it gets so hard. The worst bacterial infection I had is something called C. diff. That was the worst. C. diff, man. It's a bacterial infection in the gut. And let me tell you, it has that destroyed me. Like, that was the most uncomfortable. I almost called 911. And my wife's like, I'll be right home and I'll take you to the hospital. Like, it was that bad. It's rough, man. Other environmental variables. Yeah, I mean, you know. So, Arlen, the NMM thing, I don't know. Oh, intestinal tuberculosis. Jesus Christ, I got a bunch of old, fucked up people in here like me. I have had a kidney stone. I've had 3 of them. That's something else the men in my family get. It was not fun. Kidney stones are not fun. Hello and welcome to the Old Man Chat, brought to you by Mateo 311. I mean, but for the most part, though, I have all these things wrong with me. I just consider them experience. Like, I'm not in... Well, here's the thing. I'll realize how much pain my body's, like, in the second I stop and kind of analyze my body. Like, if I go for a massage and someone starts touching me, I go, oh, shit, I'm tender everywhere. Oh, let's fix that. Oh, I'm tender everywhere. Like, so the second I go, oh, that muscle sore, oh, maybe I have a black and blue there. Like, I start noticing all that. So, you know, obviously, I'm carrying around some pain. But then, like, you touch certain areas, and it's like, that's not pain, that's an injury. But now I'm beyond that. Like, the radial tunnel syndrome is the new one that's killing me. This is not fun. Kidney stone, they used to say it was dietary. I'm sure my diet has changed, so maybe that's why I don't get it anymore. YouTube's going to start running therapy ads. The AI is listening to this chat right now. They're going to start running commercials for drugs. Do you need Sky Rizzy? Sky Rizzy. Then maybe they'll have boner pills because we're old. Nice. Arthritis is kind of nice and not any pains whatsoever. Oh, Jesus. I worked with some lady who had arthritis. Like, her hands were just locked like this, and she would peck at the keyboard. The diabetes. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, my grandma had horrible diabetes. So my mother-in-law just doesn't. She has bad diabetes, too. She doesn't take care of herself right, though. Yeah, we're running ED pills. Yeah. So NMM I have taken before. NAC I've taken also. When it comes to vitamins, Dr. Brad, but they're not cheap. Dr. Brad microvitamin, I'm a fan of that. He also has a powder scoop. The vitamins were only because for a while, you know, I was eating so little when I was trying to lose weight. Not so little, but I was eating a lot less than normal, so I wanted to make sure I get my micros and macros. Smoking complicates everything, brother. Just so you know. Smoking complicates everything. Oh, you got arthritis from Lyme. I want to give this whole community a hug. Dr. Brad's YouTube channel is good too. But on that note, Average Dad Workouts channel will be up soon. We're finishing up my intro. I did like a ton of shorts for it. I did weekly check-ins during my weight loss phase. I'm kind of just gonna be like, the idea of the channel is to say, listen, I'm a guy. I have a full-time job. I'm not a fitness influencer. I'm not a 20 to 30-year-old kid on gear who's like, yeah, do this, and, and I'm not going to tell people to ego lift and have them like fuck up their back. I'm going to tell people the shit they need to hear. That's my plan. I basically want to tell people like, well, people have no clue. I've been doing this. I've been working out my whole life. All my stats indicate that I'm like at, advanced to elite territory. I come short of elite because I can't compete in IFBB or anything like that. I'm not putting up these insane numbers when it comes to like deadlifts and squats because of my back. But overall, I'm like relatively small. I'm big for a hobbit. I'm massive for a hobbit, but I'm a relatively small dude. I'm probably only like 175 pounds right now, which is heavy for me. I have gone up to 190, but that's fat boy Matt. So I want to give people advice like, yes, this is how you should be pushing. This is how you should be training. This is what it feels like when you start. This is how many days a week you should train. And like get people on the right path. Like a lot of people will be like, all right, I got to make some serious changes. I'm too fat. I'm going to get a personal trainer. I'm going to change my whole diet, go to gym every day. And like for 3 months, they do badass. And then they fall apart again and go into all their old habits. So the goal is to say, hey, listen, don't change everything. That's impossible. That's not sustainable. Find some activities you like FitXR, like, VR workouts. Even if it's basketball 3 days a week, that's good. Get yourself a little more. I want people to be more physical. Make sure you're moving. Make sure you're stretching. As you get to these certain ages, do you have any effed up issues? You got to correct them now, because when you get to your late 30s and 40s, they're now permanent. So, like, there's a lot of stuff I want to get to. What are you doing, camera? Just because I point at you doesn't mean take it personally and back up. So, a lot of stuff. Okay. When you want to say, stuff is snake oil, the fitness industry has gone berserk. It has gone from snake oil to fucking over-the-counter steroids to snake oil to back. In the 2010s, the early 2010s, I think it was, they passed the Consumer Steroid Act. Because do you know what people realized around the 2010s? Was that, hey, the only thing that's actual illegal is the actual chemical itself. So like if I remake testosterone and sell it to you, bad. However, if I take testosterone and tweak it just enough and sell it to you, good. So there were no laws in place. The only law for steroid sales was the actual listing. Like these are Schedule 2 or, well, not Schedule 2, but like whatever scheduling they were, because some of them actually have therapeutic uses. So that was the only law in place. This chemical, this chemical, this chemical. They're illegal. People made new chemicals. The technology got better. The people were able to make this shit in their houses, basically. But, some labs that were making regular crappy stuff said, hey, it's way more money if we make Andro. Androstenedione was illegal back then. So it's pretty crazy. There was a point where they were selling steroids over the counter. And then there was a point where everything was snake oil, like hydroxycut, Xenadrin. You're going to get a heart attack before you lose weight. So it's been all over the place. You train Hapkido, or is it? I thought it was Haikido. Hapkido. What? Anyway, listen, I did MMA for years. I got my black belt when I was 24, I want to say, so roughly 20 years ago. I got my black belt. To date, some of that stuff has stayed with me for sure. Like I think I would be much more comfortable in a clench than an average 44-year-old person. Not someone who fights MMA. They'd kill me. If you're still practicing, you'd kill me. I have enough injuries and I don't train my cardio enough. And I'm also not a very big dude. However, if it was an average dude and I was in a little scruffle, I'm not that I'm a violent person. I don't think I've ever really been into fights. I feel decently confident. Like, you know, I feel decently confident that I could defend myself. But I don't want to. I don't want to be in that situation ever. Someone pulls out a knife, a gun, hits me with their car, whatever the case is. Who here likes VR gaming? Nobody. Not to change the subject, but any news on Valve about the Steam Frame VR headset? We were talking about it earlier, buddy. There's no real news yet. Oh, it's Aikido, it's Japanese. Okay. It's Korean. All right. So I did Taekwondo. Okay. Yeah, I know you got karate. You got what's it called? Oh my God. Why is my brain just locked up there for a second? I mean, anyway, Taekwondo is Korean. And then you have karate, and what is the last one? I'm stuck. Kung Fu. Jesus, thank you. Best defense is running. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I wasn't thinking jiu-jitsu or Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I wasn't thinking that, but that's, you know, very common in MMA. You know, everyone's got their own form of martial arts. No, Steven Seagal is the worst, man. He is not the GOAT. Stop it. He is a fucking blob. Google AI Gemini told me that to get in line early and click the tab. I wishlisted mine. You were able to wishlist it for a very long time. So, and I think they changed the links for their hardware recently. I think the controller is going to get announced pretty soon, and then we'll have pricing and we'll be able to put down some money. Let me see where we're at. Steam Frame cheeseburger. If anyone knows what that's from, I don't know why I'm like almost slurring today. I swear I'm drug free. What are we? If anyone knows what that's from, I will give you 8,000 bonus points if you know what cheeseburger is from. All right, so let's see. Steam Frame. Wish list. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else that says, take my money. Shut up and take my money. Yes, Seagal is bullshito. So Wesley Snipes was surprisingly badass back in the day. There's another black dude. I hate to describe it that way, but come on. It's a describing factor. That was very prominent in martial arts. It was very skillful. But even like there's guys, so they're like Jet Li he was a master martial artist, but he's not a fighter. It's a very different discipline. I'm not saying a lot of it doesn't translate over. A lot of it does. Knowing how to throw a good strike, you know how to throw a good strike, and a good strike could drop most people unless they're a lot bigger than you. However, you know, having the cardio, you know, not getting nervous in a clinch, or you know, knowing how to like just set someone up for the perfect strike or not get caught yourself. Someone's got fast hands. It's scary, man. So it's pretty wild. Damn, video Chris over here. YouTube getting audio like a half second ahead though. Weird. That's the website stuff because I'm transmitting on the same signal. Nothing's getting modified, so everyone's getting the same stuff. Snipes versus Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's surprising beast. I mean, no, Cheeseburger was from, because I have kids. Cheeseburger is from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. We just watched it recently. And my other ones has me watching Harry Potter. Harry Potter. How's your VR game coming along? It's coming along great, man. We are in alpha testing. So if you guys, let me get a link for you guys. If you guys haven't popped over and checked our studio, let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I'm laughing at comments people sent me. All right, let me get you guys an invite. Invite to server brought to you by Mateo311. This is the Noetic Realms Discord. And that one right there, you can find our alpha if you guys are interested. And I think actually we're not posting any media in the Discord, which I should get that corrected. So we should get the media being posted in the Discord too. But we have our Noetic Realms YouTube channel, and you could see what's going on. Visually, not a ton has changed over the last 4 to 8 weeks, but alpha testing, we have a lot going on. Under the hood, we're changing tons of mechanics. It feels really good. Bosworth declared that VR is growing less quickly than we hoped. Yeah. And they sat there and they looked at their diminishing returns for X amount of years. I mean, they thought they were going to be able to force viral conversion for Horizon Worlds. They had this concept of just throw a lot of money at it. The problem was this approach didn't bring enough passion into the industry. A lot of people who wanted to survive in the industry or were just looking for a quick buck, you know, they did the, okay, yeah, we'll give you your quick VR app. Oh yeah, sure. We'll give you your quick mixed reality app. Oh yeah, sure. We'll give you your quick Horizon World. And they came in, and I'm not saying those people are bad or they did anything wrong. You got to do what you got to do to survive. You want to learn in your field. You want to stay in your field. You don't want to switch from development, you know, game development over to Burger King. Extreme exaggeration, but like you don't want to career switch. You want to stay in the field you want to stay with. So if this is what people need to do to stay in the field in the time being, I completely get it. And I give devs a lot of slack that consumers rarely do. I see so much that goes on, so small the margins are, how much actual passion there. I get it. Consumers have the right to be pissed off because for years they've been dealing with jerks like EA, who's just been finding ways to suck the money out of them and then sell it off to Saudi Arabia. And God knows what's going to happen to all these amazing franchises. So even when devs sell out, like the people who must have got acquired by Meta, the studios like Ready at Dawn and stuff, they must have been like, oh my God, this is amazing. Meta just wants us to keep making VR games. They want us to make bigger VR games, and they're going to give us a lot of money. Fuck yeah. We just got the golden ticket. But, you know, Meta, things didn't work out. Meta had other plans. Their studio is a spreadsheet to a significant portion of, you know, people working in Meta. And they go, nah, return on investment, not there. Peace. Yeah. It's crazy, man. VR is going to grow. It's going to become more common. It's going to be XR is going to be part of our daily lives for sure. So if we look at the technological advancement in this space and compare it to other devices, it's night and day. The first smartphones were Blackberries. Okay, the screen was black and white and like this big, and it had a keyboard this big at the bottom. The device itself was this big, a hard chunk of plastic that I used to joke had a theft deterrent system in it. If someone came after you, just throw your Blackberry at them and you deterred the theft. Oh, snap, my chat broke. Let's fix my chat. That's weird. So like that's where we went from. And now 20 years later, we have these devices that can freaking run The Witcher 3 in our pocket device that's this freaking big. It's got $2,000 of technology packed into it. It's nutty, man. It is really nutty how fast that grew. And that was 20 plus years. Look at VR. You put on an HTC Vive these days, your eyes bleed. But I don't know, 9 years ago, we thought that was the most amazing thing. Now we're looking at devices that are, 200 grams or less. They're basically like eyeglasses. It's a wild time. So I think as that technology continues to grow and we find more use cases, Google XR is going in the entertainment space. More people are going in the MR space. I think eventually it's all going to come around. It's going to be quite common. Thoughts on the new standalone headset? What are we talking about? What new standalone headset? The MetaQuest 4 or the Steam Frame? 120 FOV is nice. So I remember back in the HTC days, that's all I really wanted was more FOV. Because like I felt like I had blinders on. When an enemy was standing here, it would scare the shit out of me. It wasn't really my deal. It wasn't doing it for me. So when we got the Index, I loved it. I was blown away. And I kind of settled like, all right, it's good enough. Because I tried 3 or 4 different Pimax headsets and never liked any of them. And when it comes down to VR headsets, I can get used to anything. Like I can play, give me a couple sessions in a PlayStation VR 2 and I'm like, this is fine. I'm happy. Give me a couple sessions in a Quest 3 or even a Quest 3S. I'm happy. I adjust. But when you move so quickly between headsets, every issue on every headset is much more prominent, or the things you like and dislike, you just notice way more. So like when I pick up my PlayStation VR 2, for the first like 30 minutes, I'm dealing with the small sweet spot. I struggle to keep my right eye in the sweet spot, which is really annoying. And that I'm left eye dominant, so that's why that ends up happening. Left eye dominant, but a righty. I'm screwed up on every friggin' spectrum of the world. I'm atypical. But anyway, so when you get in there, the first thing I noticed is that sweet spot and the high persistence, and it annoys me. And the first, like when I put on Apple Vision Pro, the first thing I noticed is I find it horrendously heavy and the high persistence. But I also find it clearer than anything else I've ever used. For me, though, the downside is way too much for the upside. And when it comes to, all these subjective VR aspects, we just have different preferences. A lot of people think the PlayStation VR 2 is super comfortable. I think it's very light. I love the fact that how light it is. I don't think it's super comfortable. Every once in a while, like I get hit with my Giga Chad jawline here gets hit with hard plastic. Such an idiot. Have you tried Pimax Super Micro OLED yet? I think what was the last Pimax headset I tried? I got to respond to them because they just emailed me recently, but I didn't understand their message. I've had a very on and off again relationship with Pimax. One day they like me, the next day they absolutely hate me. But I'm trying to think what the last one I tried. The Pimax Super. I don't think I tried the Micro OLED. The Pimax Super, I think, was the last one I tried. I tried the 8KX, and then I tried the Super. Yeah. I find the sweet spot every time. Yeah. You have different eyes than me. You have a different shaped head. You have a different IPD. I have astigmatism. Do you have that? Like, that's the type of statement where if I say the statement, it doesn't mean the headset's bad. It means that's like me saying this hat doesn't fit me or this extra large t-shirt doesn't fit me. And you saying the extra large fits me. Yeah. Yes. I find this material comfortable. I don't like this material. These are subjective things. Objective is this headset is this many pixels. This headset is this many pixels. FOV. FOV, there's even the subjective aspect to it because it's how close it is to your face. So, it's one of those things. But the sweet spot, I struggle with the right eyeball. I have to like push the headset on my head, move over a little bit, then lock it in place, and then I'm good. And I struggle a little bit with the 3S because I'm gonna assume it's the lens. The sweet spot is better, but I do want to find I don't have one eye in and one eye out of the sweet spot. However, I do see more lens distortion on the edges, which, it's for now. Go figure. Could be worse. You could have one eye. I always wonder about that, like how flat VR is. There are some people who do not have stereoscopic vision. And, oh my God, I had a teacher, my computer teacher, I forget what grade it was, but she said she found out as a child trying out for baseball that she didn't have stereoscopic vision because they pitched the ball and it would have been foul. It would have hit. Well, it did hit her. Line drive. The pitcher threw a pretty crappy throw and nailed her right in the head. And since she doesn't have stereoscopic vision, she wasn't realizing how close it was getting. She just watched the ball hit her in the face. So I'm going to be heading out soon. Someone just rang my doorbell too. But I'm not going to see what it is. So I'm going to be heading out soon. So you know what that means? That means I start thanking you guys. I let you know about my sales sheet, which I haven't updated. I got to add like Legendary Tales and a couple newer titles on there. But this is my recommended games, my hidden gems, all my discount codes, any discounts that are currently going on that even if I don't have a code or not. So it's some affiliates, some not. Check it out. If you guys are here, you guys know. You've seen it a bunch of times before. But that link is always up. I need to give it a good update every once in a while. Mateo311 is your code. 10% off on your MetaQuest games. During the holidays, sometimes it goes up to like 18 or 20%. So it's a permanent promo code that you guys can use from the Meta Store. Can't get anything like that from Steam, unfortunately, but Steam has great deals, so don't worry about that. Dread Meridian video hopefully dropping tomorrow. I wanted to drop it yesterday. This is a sponsored video though. So you guys said, hey, make another Dread Meridian video. We want to see more of the game. And they reached out and said, hey, we liked your previous coverage of Dread Meridian. So can you make more? And I said, sure. I said, I'll play a few more levels. They said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to do pretty much what I normally do. I'm going to play some more levels. I'm going to talk about the content. I'm going to show off some more content. I'll give some light opinions and overall, but not doing a review because it's sponsored content. But I show off like 7 more minutes throughout random spots in the game. I show off some cool clips, some cool moments. I will say, performance can be a little bit better on Quest. It's not fantastic, but it's a really good horror game. So dropping that tomorrow. And let's see what else is going on. You want the 411 on the frame pre-orders? They're not out yet, right? There's no pre-order yet. I'm going to make sure because I think you're just asking it, but Steam Frame pre-order. I didn't see anything on the site unless it changed. Steam Frame pre-order. Yeah, let's see. Wish list. I have them all on my wish list. Steam Frame, Steam Machine, Steam Controller. I don't see any other buttons to pre-order or anything. Yeah. Follow me on Twitter or X because that is where I do the most random posting. So if a game comes out or I get the price drop for this, that's where I'll post it first. Play Cyberpunk with your rib. Playthrough. Many hours. I played Cyberpunk on this rig. I have a 5090. It's pretty crazy. The only thing is Cyberpunk is just so not VR friendly. It's better if you're deep in the game and you're roaming around, killing people, just solving some quests. But if you're early in the game where there's tons of cutscenes and stuff, Yeah, I'm taking pre-orders too. What was that headset that disappeared, that they took $5 pre-orders and disappeared? It was the... Oh my God, they made the little tracker for movement too. Anyway, we're going to head out, guys. So yeah, make sure you... let me drop a Discord link. We do game night on Tuesday nights. Yeah, the deco. Yeah. All right, so join the Discord. We do game nights on Tuesday. I drop some keys. I really want a big Iron Rebellion game going, and I also want to get... We started doing Legendary Tales, so we should jump into that. And yeah, I think I dropped the sales link. I just want to say a big thank you to guys because I only get to do this because you guys are here, hanging out, watching me, subscribing, donating. You guys are absolutely amazing, so I appreciate it. Go check out Noetic Realms. Go check out the game we're working on. My Captain Hardcore video is coming soon. Giggity. Phrasing. God, things just went sideways. And that is where I will end this stream. Thank you, guys. It has been fun. Bam. And that was today's stream, guys. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. You guys mean the world to me. I hope I did a good job answering all of your questions. And if you want to help support me, the easiest ways are always to leave a comment, throw a thumbs up, subscribe, Or if you're one of those crazy people who likes to burn money on me, why not use one of my affiliate links for a discount on some accessories? Maybe become a Patreon or YouTube member. And finally, I have a merch shop with items that no one has ever bought before. Again, thanks for hanging out, guys, and of course, I'll see you on next time.